One of the things that I try to do at Strength Running is help us recreational runners train the same way that elite runners train. Now, I know that sounds a little extreme, but we're of course not gonna do the same mileage numbers. We're not gonna run 10, 11, 12 times per week. And we're certainly not gonna do the same grueling workouts that pro runners do. But we can take many of the principles that help elite athletes perform at world-class levels and apply those same principles to our own training. And that's gonna make us into much better runners. The first principle that we're gonna follow, if we wanna model the training habits of elite athletes, is to remember to always polarize our training. That means our training should be very easy, very hard, and very rarely should we be spending a lot of time in the middle, in that gray zone of training, as Coach Jack Daniels might describe it. When we are doing a lot of that middle ground training, a lot of moderate efforts, then we're not giving ourselves the stronger stimulus to improve, and we're not giving ourselves the really easy running that we need to properly recover and adapt from the more challenging, difficult workouts that we're doing. So this idea of polarization is absolutely necessary for both adaptation, getting the fitness gains that we want, and for recovery, making sure that we can actually recover from all those hard workouts and long runs and overall mileage. And you know, we can really learn a lot from some of the best marathoners in the world. For example, some of the best East African runners are known for starting their runs well over 9 minutes per mile. And for guys who are running well under 5 minutes a mile for the marathon, this is a pace that is so unbelievably easy and slow and therapeutic. And this is really a true recovery effort. And a lot of their easy runs begin this way, and some of their easy runs continue this way. So if you're ever in doubt whether or not you're running too slow, it really is very hard to do. Save your effort for the hard days, and you'll know that your training is polarized. Now, the flip side to this is that we actually have to run very difficult workouts. Not all the time, of course, not every single week, but a good chunk of our season has to include challenging workouts where we are really pushing ourselves. And these are more difficult than marathon pace runs, half marathon paced workouts, tempo or lactate threshold workouts. We really need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And if we're gonna polarize our training, yes, the easy runs are super important, but so are the hard workouts. I think right now, a lot of coaches are talking about the value of running easy, focusing on recovery, and that is 100% true, but we also need to focus on the hard workouts. That's the other side to this coin, and you don't get the value from those easy runs if you don't really have much to recover from. So make sure that you're pairing all those easy days with maybe one hard workout per week, and you're gonna trigger that adaptation stimulus, and that is what's going to prompt you to become a better runner. This video is sponsored by Inside Tracker, our newest partner for the YouTube channel, and I couldn't be more excited. They are an ethical company. They are a company that I've been using personally for years, and they're one of the most reputable blood testing companies in the country. Inside Tracker tests your blood very simply. They look at over 40 different biomarkers, from stress hormones like cortisol to testosterone levels and vitamin D, also that you know what's going on inside your body. So you can tell if you're undertraining, you're overtraining, you're optimally training, or if you just have any other health issues that might be going on that might be impacting your running. And like I said, I've been using them for years. I've gotten numerous ultimate tests, and I'm about to get my third, and I added on the DNA kit. This is gonna be really special for me just to get a more in-depth look at what's going on inside me so that I know if there are any red flags that I have to address. And that part of the whole procedure is why I love Inside Tracker, because you know what they do? They don't just give you a report showing you how your markers might be in the zone or outside the zone. They tell you how to improve them.
So if you are too low or too high with any of these metrics, they give you science-backed ways to improve upon them through diet, exercise, or lifestyle changes. So I'm super happy about this partnership. And if you go to insidetracker.com/strengthrunning, use code strengthrunning, you're gonna get 25% off any test that they have. This is a great offer, and I'm really excited to partner with this company, so hope you take advantage of it. That's insidetracker.com/strengthrunning, and use code strengthrunning to save 25% off on any test.
Okay, the next way that we are gonna emulate elite athletes is to be regularly priming our nervous system for speed. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean run fast frequently, but it does mean that we need to be treating our nervous system as a big component to us having the ability to run fast. So we definitely want to be doing things like strides or hill sprints, even things like form drills. We want to be doing things like plyometrics and fast workouts, and occasionally running really fast close to our maximum, and even sprinting at our maximum ability. And so priming the nervous system for speed really means being comfortable doing things quickly, whether that's a form drill, a plyometric, whether you're doing a weightlifting exercise in the gym. There's a lot of different ways to do this, and all are valid. So I'll encourage you to include all of these within your training program at a reasonable level, the same way that you would plan in long runs or tempo workouts or build your mileage over time. We can definitely build in some of these more interesting types of training and really benefit from it. And one of the reasons why I chose to highlight this specific aspect of training that's very common among pro runners is because, you know, for the last 11 or 12 years, I've been a coach for hire, and I've built custom training plans for thousands of runners all around the world. And you know what? Most runners aren't doing this. Most runners aren't practicing the form drills and the skips and the hops and the plyos and the heavy weightlifting exercises and the regular strides and faster workouts. They're not exposing themselves to as much speed as they could, and they're simply not comfortable running fast. We don't have to make our running very hard to be very comfortable running fast, and that's what this work accomplishes. So if you're not yet including regular strides, a very small amount of plyometrics, weightlifting, and a harder workout per week, this is your call to do so. You're gonna get more comfortable running fast. You're gonna improve your strength, your power, your running economy or your efficiency. And those things really add up at the end of the day. And the next time you go to run a race, you're gonna feel a lot more smooth as you glide to the finish line. Now, the next thing we can do to treat our running more like a pro runner will treat their running is to treat our running sort of like a job. Now, I know you probably have a real job that actually pays the bills, but pro runners are good because they do the little things and they do them all professionally. That just means they're super consistent and they really focus on the process of training. Now, you probably have a family and friends and other things going on with your life, and you're looking at, having a real job and professional responsibilities. So of course you're not going to be able to train at the same level as some of these pro athletes. But treating your running like a job doesn't mean that you're going to run the same mileage levels or spend as much time per day on your running. What it does mean is that you're going to be very process oriented. You're going to do things like prepare adequately for all of your runs. You're going to try to execute your workouts exactly the way that they should be, instead of going out way too hard, taking way too much recovery in between the intervals that you should. In other words, imagine that you have a boss or a manager looking over your running, sort of like if you had a coach. And instead of trying to get away with things or cutting corners or doing the bare minimum, you hold yourself to a really high standard, almost a professional standard. You do things the right way, and there's no compromises around that. If you can do that, if you can treat your running almost like you are trying to do things the right way because someone's looking over your shoulder and evaluating your performance and how well you check all the boxes, Did you do your dynamic warm-up before your run? Are you starting the run at an easy effort to help yourself warm up? Are you doing the workout as prescribed with the proper recovery and pacing? And then, are you treating the other 23 hours of your life in such a way that it's conducive to running? Are you actually building a lifestyle around your running that helps you be a high-achieving runner? Prioritizing sleep, trying to reduce stress wherever you can, focusing on good nutrition and hydration and proper recovery throughout the day. All these little things are not really that little, but if you can work on them and treat them a little bit more like a pro might, then I think you're gonna really find that your progress is gonna start to tick up and accelerate. There we have it, runners. We are going to polarize our training. We are going to regularly prime our nervous system for speed. And then, of course, we're gonna treat every aspect of our training with a more professional, process-oriented approach. That is going to really allow ourselves to achieve our potential. Now, of course, there are many other ways that pro runners elevate their training and put it on a pedestal so that they can achieve the things that they can achieve. We can't do everything that elite athletes do, but we can learn from some of the principles, some of the high-level ideas that guide your training. And many of these ideas I've taken from conversations with pro runners from the Strength Running podcast. So you can certainly check out all kinds of episodes we've had over the last 240 plus episodes on high-level track, road, and trail runners.